What's going on, everyone? So, Dalton Knecht went from just like taking the NBA by storm, shooting the lights out, looked every bit like the piece that we desperately needed for the Lakers. I mean, this guy's dropping, 37, nearly 40 on teams and single handedly getting us back into games, winning games. And he's just been on a terrible, terrible shooting slump. You don't hear me really criticize Dalton Knecht a lot, where, I've criticized basically everyone else on this roster. But I take into account Dalton Knecht, him being a rookie, right? It's his first year. Also, him being a shooter, and primarily a shooter at this point. We've seen that he can do more, but the Lakers basically just want him to be just spot up, catch and shoot 3-point shooter, or, shooter on the move type thing. But, ultimately, I do think Dalton Knecht at some point can be much more versatile on the offensive side, but just alongside LeBron James, Anthony Davis, they just need him to basically be that, hey, knock down on a regular basis type shooter. And he was that early on. Since then, he's really had his struggles. He can't find his rhythm. But with that, usually shooters need to shoot themselves out of it, right? Like, you'll see, like, LeBron, for example. How many times have we seen LeBron? I mean, LeBron had a stretch this year where he was like 0 of 20 or 0 of 21 from three-point range, and he just kept shooting like 9 threes a game. And we're just like, why does he keep doing it? Because he's trying to shoot himself out of the slump, right? He's trying to, once he sees the ball go through the hoop, now he can get another one. You see it, like guys like Steph have done it, right? Like, but a guy like Dalton Knecht, he doesn't have that luxury. On most nights, he's only getting, 3, if he's lucky, 4 field goal attempts, right? Some nights he might get 5 or 6, something like that. But for the most part, he's usually, most nights, only getting a handful, if that. And not all of them are threes. So he's only getting probably 2 to 3 3-point attempts. Unless he is lights out, he's not going to have that impact, right? But he's also not getting the field goal attempts necessary or the 3-point attempts necessary to basically shoot you out of that slump. He doesn't have the luxury of, I can take 5, 6 threes and then, start shooting myself out. And that becomes a problem. But before I continue to dive into this, I did see a stat that I thought was very interesting. And maybe it could kind of help navigate Dalton Knecht and his struggles. But so Dalton Knecht is shooting 41% on spot-up threes this season and 20% on all others. So he's still shooting the ball excellent this season. It's just on spot-ups, right? Which, to be fair, if you most of the games recently that he's hit a 3 in have been kind of him tucked in the corner, spot up, catch and shoot. So him on spot ups is still shooting over 40%. It's just everything else he's just been abysmal on, which he wasn't early on. So, question becomes, if you're JJ, which, JJ's trying to get him to do a little bit of everything out there, right? Like, he doesn't want to just keep him limited, and he shouldn't, right? Dalton Knecht's had some great games and some great moments where he hasn't shot the 3 ball well, but he was just being aggressive, right? Getting in the paint, attacking the opposing defenses, right? Like, attacking closeouts, helping rebound, like doing all the dirty works. Defensively, he's awful, but again, he's a rookie. He's got to figure it out. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got the tools that you need for him to be a really good basketball player, right? Like a really good defensive player. I don't know about elite or anything like that, but just, enough to where like he could hold his own on both sides. He has the tools that are there. Will he ever become that? We'll see. Time will tell. But like I said, he's a rookie. I try to take that into account when I'm, when he's having these poor games, right? And his type of role he's having and all that stuff. It's tough for him, right? Like, shooters shoot, but it's just, you need those shots. You need those repetitions, right? He's a rhythm shooter, right? He sees 1 or 2 go in all of a sudden. Now 3, 4, 5. Like, he's a guy we've seen how many times since we've gotten him. I mean, if you followed him in college, you saw it in college too. But let's just say since he's been a Laker, we've seen it at every level. We saw it in Summer League. We saw it in preseason. And we've seen it in the NBA. How many times has Dalton Knecht been like 0 of 6 in a game? Or 0 of 4 in a game? And then you look up and he's like 6 of 10. And it's like, how did that happen? Right? And it's like, he just made 6 straight threes. Because he's just one of those guys, like, Once the ball goes into the hoop, that's it. Once he knocks it in, that's it. Now it's just like another one. Now he becomes DJ Khaled, right? Like, so I want to see maybe JJ, and I've talked about this before, like I'd like to see JJ run some more action for him. Like, just design plays to get him some looks. Right? Can we get some design plays to just allow him to just get some shots going, right? Like, and just some quality looks, right? Because a lot of times too, he ends up having to force it because it's like late shot clocks, or they're just like he's not in position to where he's just kind of floating out there, so he's not in position when he does catch it to like really square up, so he just kind of launches it, right? Where the shot selection isn't as great as it should be. I'd like to see us actually run some like real action, some real sets where he's just getting like quality spot up looks, and just see like, can he knock down? Can he get out of stuff? Because we could really use Dalton Knecht, like earlier Knecht back, right? These last like 15 games, like the first, so like take the games we've played thus far and split them in half. The first half, he was brilliant. I mean, seriously. I mean, he came out rookie of the year favorites type thing, just like domination. And then this back half, he has just been a completely different player. He's really struggled, right? His confidence just seems down. You can see he kind of like gets in his own head at times. Stuff that a rookie does. I mean, look, Steph is the greatest shooter to ever shoot. Steph is just absolute lights out, right? And he's had terrible stretches, terrible. He had a stretch this year where it was like 3 or 4 games where he was like shooting like 20% from 3-point range. He had that one game where he was like 0-7 from 3 and had like the worst game from like a superstar arguably ever, right? Like, it happens, right? And now you're looking at a rookie who's coming in he's not allowed to do the things that, you know, some of these other guys are able to do, right? Like, what does he look like if he was on a bad team, right? And I know people would be like, well, look, they're a bad team. No, seriously, if he was on a bad team, you know, like one of these tanking teams, and he got the opportunity to, like, put the ball in the net and just kind of be one of the guys rather than another guy, right? Like, I think you'd see a very different Dalton Knecht. He has shown all the tools. He has shown the ability to operate and knock down the mid-range. He's shown the ability to operate and shoot the 3 ball. He's shown the ability to do and make plays for himself, create for others, right? He's money in that mid-range. Absolute money. I'd like for him, while he's in his slump, to just like look to do that more. Look to just take a couple steps in. I know JJ isn't really a fan of that, but just to like get his shooting up, just to get him to see the ball go through the hoop a couple times. He knocks down, 2, 3, 4 mid-ranges, right? He might start gaining some confidence, right? You need to see him kind of. I still think what's going to end up happening, and maybe it's coming up, right? Maybe it's the next game, right? But I'm hopeful that, and I think what will happen is you're going to see that like explosive game, right? He's going to have a game where he just like shoots the lights out, right? Where he's going to hit his first 3 and then he's just going to hit the next like 4, and then I think he'll right the ship a little bit, right? I think he just needs that game where it's like, okay, we're back, baby. Right? Like, you thought I was down. I just got here, right? Type thing. So I just think that he needs that one game. And I think once he gets that game, I'm not saying he'll be back to being like, 30 points a night type guy, but I think he'll be much more comfortable. I think he'll start knocking down some shots again. Right? But it's also hard to fairly assess and, criticize a rookie. It's why I don't talk about him very much, right? Like, I talk about him in positive light. I do mention, and I have mentioned the inconsistencies and issues before, but, compared to, like when D'Lo was on the team, or Rui, or, Gabe, or, Austin Reeves, or even LeBron and AD, like when I, talk about them and, criticize them, it's warranted in my opinion, right? Where Knecht's like, let's give it a year or two before we start, like, he's bum, he's a trash, right? Like, wasn't that long ago, this dude was, like, lighting up the league and just hitting everything, right? So, I still have faith, I still believe in Dalton Knecht. Obviously, it's frustrating to watch him just, like, break shot after shot after shot, but he'll come around, right? Shooters go through slumps. He's going through a slump right now. I mean, he's had a couple games in between. He's had a couple nice games in between, but not like those explosive games that we've had. And even some of those nice games that he had, he still shot the three ball poorly, right? He's like 1 of 4 from 3, but he had like 16 points, right? Like, so it's just stuff like that. But he'll get back, he'll right the ship, and when he does, the Lakers will be fine. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Hey, Phil, what are your thoughts? Do you have your worries and concerns about Knecht? Do you think, like, Knecht will be fine? He'll get through it, get through this slump, and then he'll be back. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Do not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.